As the BJP builds political momentum with these 5 Bharat Ratnas, I spoke with MS Swaminathan's daughter, Soumya Swaminathan, who of course is a scientist in her own right. She was the chief scientist of the World Health Organization for the last 5 years, from 2017 to 2022. And I asked her about the highest civilian honor of the country being conferred on her father in service of him revolutionizing Indian farming. And this is the conversation that I had with Dr. Soumya Swaminathan. So I want to move away from the political debate and talk to someone who is a family member of Dr. MS Swaminathan. He's, of course, the father of the Green Revolution. Dr. Soumya Swaminathan is now joining us. She's the former chief scientist of the World Health Organization and the daughter of Dr. MS Swaminathan. Thank you very much, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, for speaking with us. First things first, many congratulations. What was your first thoughts amongst you, your family members, when you got the news that your late father, Dr. MS Swaminathan, was being awarded the highest civilian honor in the country, the Bharat Ratna?
No, thank you very much, Zaka. Obviously, we are thrilled and we are honored and grateful that my father has received the Bharat Ratna. It is the nation's highest honor, and very few people receive it. You have to have done tremendous service to the country to even be considered for the Bharat Ratna. So it's a very unique honor. And so naturally, we are very, very proud and very happy.
So Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, I don't want to get into the politics of it, but the fact that it's taken so long to award your father the Bharat Ratna, I mean, for a man who was called the father of India's Green Revolution, for making India self-sufficient in food grains, why do you think that was? The fact that it took so long, it's been some time since he passed as well, posthumously to give him the Bharat Ratna, why do you reckon it took so long?
Well, I think that, it's a recognition, whether it's early or late, one can argue about that. But the fact is that, the Bharat Ratna is a recognition of his contributions. And it only comes once, and it is the highest honor. He has received almost every national and international honor and award in the past, and any number of honorary doctorates. And he was not one, he took these awards and recognitions quite lightly, because he recognized that in the long run, what matters is what you leave behind for future generations. And that's what, he taught us also. I think those were the values he lived by. So certainly, he would be very, very happy, I'm sure, because he was a very proud Indian. And so to have received the Bharat Ratna, is something that every Indian would be joyous about. But I think in terms of rewards, real rewards, I think came from the fruits that he saw of the work that he had done, the change in people's lives, the institutions he built, and the people that he helped create.
I do want to ask you, there have been multiple occasions when your late father met with Prime Minister Modi, even when he was Chief Minister of Gujarat. I think the last occasion was perhaps the book release that happened a few years ago. Do you remember any anecdotes or incidents or stories that he has shared with you and the rest of the family about those meetings between Dr. Swaminathan and Prime Minister Modi?
So he has known Prime Minister Modi for a long time. I think from the time when Prime Minister was Chief Minister of Gujarat. And I remember he mentioned having visited Gujarat and having discussed with him at that time, Chief Minister Modi, about how to solve a problem, and perhaps from Israel, some of the technology that they use in their arid areas. And he always, had high regard for Prime Minister Modi. They had very good conversations, and a lot of his ideas were taken by the Prime Minister. But I remember when Prime Minister Modi released his book, I think that was probably the last time that they were together. After that, my father stopped traveling much to Delhi. That in fact, Prime Minister mentioned in his speech that my father may be one of the very few people who has worked with almost every Prime Minister of this country, from the beginning of his career till Prime Minister Modi now. So he has not only worked with every prime minister, but he's worked with every government. And so when you said, yes, politics, it's not the right time, yes, he never let politics come in the way of the good work that needed to be done.
And one final word, ma'am. I just want you to sort of articulate what is the legacy that your father leaves behind. Of course, he was, like I said, singularly responsible in many ways for India reaching a stage of self-sufficiency when it comes to food grains. But the state of Indian agriculture today, was he worried about it because productivity has come down? We've seen, more and more people moving away from agriculture. What were his thoughts on where Indian agriculture stands as of today?
So I think there were many things he was very proud of Indian agriculture having achieved, and the whole ICAR system and the agricultural research system that he helped develop. But he was also concerned, especially with climate change having massive impacts on yields, on productivity, as well as on soil health, and so on. I think he was concerned that we should be doing much more to prepare for the future, and we cannot take for granted what we got from the past. So we are seeing now that with more and more inputs, we're not getting the same increase in outputs. And so he always felt that science and technology keeps evolving, and therefore policies need to evolve, and that science should be informing policies, that technology should be used by humans, that humans should not be slave to technology, but that technology should be leveraged to actually solve the societal challenges. And for him, I think food and nutrition security came first in any country's security. And I think you've heard the quote, which has been often repeated, that he once said that the world belongs to the nation with grains and not guns. And so if a country does not have food security, then it's unlikely to have any other kind of national security. So I think till the end, he was always thinking about, how to, and he was very up to date. He read all the latest scientific journals, almost till the very end. And he was amazed at the kind of new opportunities that were coming, with gene editing technologies, with artificial intelligence. And he used to say that these all should be leveraged actually to solve the societal problems and challenges that we face today.
All right, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, thank you very much for joining us, and many congratulations once again to you and the rest of the family on this big award for your late father, Dr. MS Swaminathan.